And welcome back to Blessed Mama of 5. So in today's video we're going to be canning pickles. Now we're going to insert a couple of clips in here and you're going to see the household's been a little bit busy this last week. So with that being said, we did some bread and butter pickles, we've done some dill pickles, which those are already put away, and we've done some zesty dill pickles along with a whole bunch of drying on some vegetables. So what we want to do first is today we're going to go the easier route because I'm a busy mama. Remember, I have 5. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to use Mrs. Wages, and we are going to make the brine for our dill pickles. So we're just going to follow the directions on the back. Simple and easy. You're just going to need some vinegar, some water, some cucumbers, and then the mix. So let's go ahead and get it started. So first of all, we're just going to dump the mix in. And as you can see, all the spices are already in the mix. So you got all that beautiful spice. You don't have to worry about it. It's got all the mustard seed, the dill, and everything else. And then we're going to take 3 1/3 cup of white vinegar. It's the distilled vinegar. So you're going to find it at any grocery store. It's just regular old vinegar, 5%. You're good. And then we're going to take 7 1/3 cups of water. This brine is going to make enough to do 9 to 11 pounds of pickles. So all we're going to do is we're just going to mix this. We're going to go put it back on the stove and we're going to bring it to a boil and we're going to stir it. So right now I'm going to go do that and then we'll be right back. So what you want to do is you want everything to dissolve from that packet. So we'll bring it up to a slow boil and then we'll make sure everything gets dissolved and then we'll pull it off. And in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to take our washed cucumbers. You can see I have plenty of cucumbers to do like 4 different loads at least of pickles. So we're just going to cut off the ends and put those for the chickens. Since I want to do pint-sized jars, I want to make sure my pickles aren't too high. So I'm just going to cut it in half. My kids don't care what size they are, as long as they can stick them in their mouth. So you're just going to cut them into spears. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and place them over here so we can get everything ready to go. Because I still need to get my jars hot. They are washed. The only thing I need to do is get them hot, so I put them in the oven like I showed you in a previous video, and if you haven't seen that one, I will show you how that's done. Sometimes it's easier to flip your cucumber over. Now I will tell you also, when you're doing your brine for your pickles, make sure it's in a stainless steel pot, not aluminum. The aluminum has a reaction with the spices and you'll actually get a burnt flavoring. It's really strange. So if you're not sure if you have a stainless steel pot, all you have to do is just go ahead and put a magnet on the side, and if it sticks, you have a stainless steel. If it doesn't, you have aluminum. Let's do a couple more and then I'm going to show you how I get my jars hot. And this makes it nice because you can continue to do your batches over and over again and just put new jars in. Because again, my jars are already washed and prepped and ready to go. So let's go over here and see. I'm gonna find my container. Ta-da! This is all you have to do. So put your jars on. You're going to use the pickle to can. And this can go for anything that you're actually canning. I'm going to put some water in the bottom. And what that does is just going to ensure that you're not going to crack your jars. And all we're going to do is we're going to turn the oven on at 350, let it warm up, and as soon as it gets warm, we're going to turn it down to 170, and then our jars will stay nice and hot until we're ready to can. And while we're back here, we're going to go ahead and stir. We just stirred our juice just to make sure, our brine, and we'll continue to cut pickles. And as soon as we're ready to start canning, we'll come right back. We're waiting for our pickle juice to come to a boil so we can pull it off, and then we will get our jars out of the oven. And once we get the jars out, we'll start putting some cucumber slices in there, or actually spears this time, and then we'll fill it up with the pickle juice, and then we'll wipe down our jars and do our normal canning procedure. So I already have my vinegar ready to wipe down the jars. I have my little spatula to get the air out, so it'll be ready to go. And per bowl, you can or you don't have to. You can put your lids in boiling water, but they say you don't have to anymore. So this time we're going to try it without. Let's see what happens. So I have two different sizes because I have regular mouth and wide mouth. And then I got my rings ready. So as soon as that comes up, then we can go from there. Our first jar. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to stuff your little pickle spears down in here. And be careful because the jar is hot. So I'm just pulling from all the pickles, the spears that I showed you just a few seconds ago. Now, some of them we're going to have to look because some of them might still be too big because you need at least a 1-inch head space. And if you remember, the 1-inch head space is right here at that bottom ring. So this one's actually too big. So just cut it down. Don't worry, nothing will go to waste because we can always take one and just put pickle chunks in it, and everyone will still eat those. Whew. Telling you, this stuff is like strong. Whoa, mama. So try and stuff them down there so you can see we've got quite a few in there. Try not to burn your hands at the same time. Okay. See how they're pretty much in there pretty tight? And we're going to do the same process we've been doing. So I'm going to stir this up one more time. And when you use, I would use a utensil like a wooden spoon because it will turn it yellow from the mustard seed. We'll get our funnel. Can you see the jar now? You can see the jar, you just can't see your face. That's fine. So again, we're just going to funnel it in. Got a little bit too much. So if you get a little too much, just take it out. Not a big deal. That's one reason why I always have a spoon ready to go. And if you get a seed back in there, don't worry about it. Okay. So again, like everything else, you want to make sure the air is out. So just run the spatula down. And my fingers are pretty used to the heat. If you're just starting, it's okay if yours are not. I have room right here, so I'm going to shove another pickle in there. Okay. Take your rag, dip it a little bit in your vinegar, just wipe around the ring, and all you're doing is just making sure there's no juice or anything stuck to the ends, the outside. Again, we didn't warm them up this time, so just place your ring on top. Finger tight. And then we're going to take it over to the stove to go in the canner here pretty soon. Going to clean off our stuff, and that way we're ready for the mix. We have our cucumbers cut and ready to go. As soon as our mix is ready, we'll be ready to start canning.
Oh. I told us you were going to start talking. So you've been quiet. She would have left it out.
He doesn't know the Minettes though. But he knows Aiden. And Aiden and Taylor are best friends. Like, I'm kind of surprised. A little bit. But he knows Aiden because Aiden's mom and Jessica used to be close.
Apron on. Okay, go get our next one. So for this batch, I did put in 6 jars. So that's what I'm going to process at a time, is 6 jars at a time. Like I said, I have enough cucumbers to do at least another 4 batches or more. Yeah, just take your spears, push them down in, flip them around. The fat side went down first, put the skinny side down. That one seems like it's too tall. You need that head space in there so that when it boils inside the jar, it doesn't bust the seal too. And then it processes correctly. So we can get one more in there. Let's cut him down a little bit. Okay. See how I got way too much in there? Not a big deal. Take your spoon, put it back in. Again, it's not going to matter if you have little seeds in there because they're all the same thing. Get the air bubbles out. My canner's at a rapid boil. I can hear it, which is a good thing. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put this last one in here. We're going to take it over to the canner, and we're going to process it once it comes back up to a boil for 10 minutes. And then once it processes for 10 minutes, we're going to lift it out, and I will see you back then. We're back. Our pickles have processed for 10 minutes in the water bath. And then what you do again is you just pull it up on the sides. It's real simple. Hear that lovely sound? That was a good sound. We just pull them up on the side and let them sit there for like 2 to 3 minutes, just enough to kind of cool off because they've been in a really hot bath there. And all you're going to do is you're just going to pull them out, place them on a towel so we don't burn our counter. And we're going to wait for that lovely popping sound. I can tell by this one still needs to pop. And you can tell by that little bit of a mound in the middle, you may not be able to see it, but you'll be able to look when you see them. You'll be able to know which ones may have a problem or not. So we did, let's say 7 in this one. And then we'll be doing some more, and we'll let you know how many I ended up with. What you want to do then, let them sit. Don't have anyone touch them. Don't move them. Don't mess with them. They need to sit for 24 hours so that seal can completely adhere to the jar, and then you'll be able to wipe them down and then mark them. And aren't those beautiful? Look at all those beautiful dill pickles in there. My kids are happy. Hope yours are too. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the little notification button for the next time we can or cook or do something fun. And we will see you in the next video. Have a blessed day. Bye.